Hello, Belisario. Hello, Anna. Do you guys hear me?
Yes.
Good evening. Okay, let's wait your classmates 3 minutes more to start.
Okay.
Hi, Ana Maria.
Hi, Belisario.
Where do you live?
Pardon?
Where do you live?
Right.
No, where do you live?
Ah, okay. I don't hear good. In Villavicencio.
Far.
Yes, in this place is hot today.
I know a family that they are from there, but they are living in Bucaramanga.
Okay. The sun is back. Yes.
Not on my computer.
Ah, okay. Where do you live?
I live in Bucaramanga.
Ah, it's beautiful city. I
Yes.
have family in Bucaramanga.
And where do they live here? Hi, Lucelena. Good evening.
Yeah.
Hi.
Do you live in Bogota, Lucelena?
No, I
Pereira?
live in Pereira.
Yeah, yeah. Is it nice? It's a nice city?
Yes, it's very nice city.
Or is better Manizales?
No, Manizales is cold. The weather is very different. Manizales is very cold. It rains a lot there. Pereira is warmer.
Yeah,
And
better.
all my family lives here, so
I see. I would like to go to Manizales. I would like
anytime you want to come to Pereira, you are welcome.
That
Can we
sounds
go?
hilarious.
Can we all go there?
It would be great.
Yes.
The accent is Paisa. Everyone has an accent, a Paisa accent.
Yeah. Yes.
Teacher, I have a question. My question is, I couldn't find the file for this task. Task number 4. I couldn't find the file.
Isn't it there? Luz, did you get it? Anna, did you see it? Let me check.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
You always what? I forgot how to say that. Post. You always post the task, like task number 1, 2, 3, but I couldn't.
This time it's a
I read that we are supposed to
questionnaire.
write a questionnaire. I
Yes.
already did. Just the questionnaire, or
Yes.
we are
Just the
supposed to write a.
no, just the questionnaire about connectors.
Okay, I already took it. My God, that's great.
Okay, well, so you,
I read in one of the guides that said like this questionnaire and writing a test. So
oh, no, so it was my mistake. It was only the question.
oh my God, that's cool.
Okay, we are going to review that tonight. Connectors. So I would like all of you to mention some connectors that you remember.
Yes, however,
Exactly. What else?
furthermore, my favorites.
Yes. What else?
Moreover,
Uh-huh.
and now others. I have to.
So it's a connector.
It is a connector.
Nevertheless,
Yes. What else?
although,
Right.
Mm,
Well, there are much more, right? So we can classify them. For example, if we use however, nevertheless, and although, is because we are going to connect two ideas that are contradictory or that contradict each other.
Like on the contrary.
Okay, if we use furthermore, is because we're going to connect what type of ideas.
To add more.
but if we, teacher, I have a question. If we use also at the beginning of a sentence,
Yes.
it doesn't work like a connector. That's it.
Yes, anyway, we are trying to connect the ideas, although we use it at the beginning. So when we use it at the beginning, we write a comma after the connector.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Okay,
Another connector. In other words. Yeah. In other words.
still,
still,
still.
no, still is not a connector.
Okay.
On the contrary.
Okay, on the contrary, yes.
Also.
So when we use also, moreover, and furthermore, we connect two ideas that what happened with those ideas.
There's another one that belongs to the
When?
verb in addition.
In addition.
Exactly.
Additionally, in addition.
Ideas that are similar, right?
Yep.
If we use so, we use it to connect what type of ideas?
Like
Just
Yes.
to confine
Confine?
to confine something.
To express cause and consequence.
Subordinates.
Yes, so in some sentences, subordinate,
No,
we use those type of connectors.
there's another one that is therefore that is good. It's a good connector.
Yes.
I love it.
I'm going to show you because, exactly, to express cause and consequence. I'm going to show you a list that I found in the internet, but there are many others. Here, the connectors are classified for the ones that, we have a group that express sequence. So we have their until, after, before, when, while, since, once, whenever, as soon as long as, by the time, during, after, before, since, until, upon, then, next, after that, following that, before that, afterwards, meanwhile, beforehand. Those that express cause and consequence or cause and effect, because, as, since, in as much as, now that, as long as, such that, so that, so, plus adjective or plus a quantifier.
What did inasmuch mean?
In as much as, así como.
Thank you.
Okay, here we have a list of connectors that express contrast. Even though, although, though, in spite of the fact, while, whereas, where, despite, in spite of, however, nonetheless, nevertheless, on the other hand, in contrast, on the contrary. Well, the idea is that here here we have those that express condition, and that's it, that there are many others. For example, here we don't have the group of condition of connectors that express information that have this similar that add information. So, for example, moreover, and, in addition, those ones express similar ideas. I'm going to share this link with you, and now we're going to practice a little bit the use of those connectors. We will start by a simple exercise, and then we will move to an essay to practice how to connect all the ideas to write a text. Okay, this exercise is easy because we just have 2 sentences, not a whole paragraph, not a whole essay, but only 2 sentences, and we need to choose the correct connector. So in the first one, the options that we have are whereas, otherwise, and nonetheless. What is the translation of whereas?
Mientras.
Mientras.
Mientras que.
Okay, otherwise.
De otra manera.
And nonetheless.
Es como un sin embargo.
Exactly. Okay, so the sentence that we have is, Alex seems to be quite intelligent. She often gets poor grades. So those 2 sentences are expressing opposite ideas, similar ideas, cause and consequence, condition, what type of
opposite ideas.
So what is the connector that helps us to express that?
Nonetheless.
Nonetheless. Exactly. Then we have, in addition to, beside, moreover. What is the translation of the connectors?
Además, ¿no?
Además.
So the translation for us, for Spanish speakers, for the 3 ones, is además.
Al
The second one is missing an S at the end. It's besides, not beside.
All right.
So we have, this restaurant has some of the best chefs in the town. Their service is excellent. So what is the connector that we need to use?
In addition to,
Or besides?
Moreover.
Moreover.
Okay, what we have here is that after in addition
in
to,
addition to,
we need to write here
Moreover.
in addition to that, in addition to what?
Uh-huh.
It is necessary to write that. In addition to that, something else. So we cannot use that connector for that reason. Beside is missing the S at the end, so it's incorrect. So the correct will
Okay.
be
So
But it's
grammar.
moreover.
good. Now we have although, however, in spite of. What is the translation of the three connectors?
So,
aunque,
sin embargo,
sin embargo, y a pesar de.
Exactly. So we have I've never been to the USA, having friends and relatives there. The ideas are
Although,
Also.
spite of,
although,
or in spite of,
In spite of.
spite of.
okay. Luz, please translate the sentence if you write although here. If we put although here, what is the translation of the whole sentence?
yo nunca he estado en Estados Unidos, aunque tengo amigos y familiares allí.
Ok, para que
Aún.
diga tengo, tendría que decir although I have. Although I have.
And yes, I understand now it's because of the form of the verb here, because it's
Exactly.
ing form. Okay.
Although needs like a pronoun, yes, like a person.
Although needs a complete clause with noun, verb, and complement. So it's in spite of, a pesar de. After of, the verb goes plus ing. That's the reason. Okay. Now we have even as, although, even so. What is the translation?
Even as, incluso. Even as, incluso.
Okay, although,
Aunque,
aunque,
Okay.
even so.
aún así,
Okay, so we have, he's a reckless driver. He hasn't had any accidents. Reckless is the
He's
opposite of careful, right? So he's a reckless driver. He hasn't had any accidents.
So,
Even so.
Although,
Even so. Cesar, could you translate it with even so, please?
Ay, ok. Él es un conductor descuidado, ¿cómo se dice? Es
Imprudente.
no precavido,
Ajá.
imprudente. Aún así, no ha tenido ningún accidente.
Exacto.
O aunque de esa manera no haya tenido un accidente.
Aún así.
¿Cómo sería la acción aún así?
Aún así.
Ok.
Good.
Okay, thank you.
Then we have, however, even as, and moreover. What is the translation of even as?
incluso.
So we have, my sister works 3 jobs in a day. She doesn't earn much money.
however,
However, Belisario, could you translate it,
Sin
please?
embargo,
trabaja tiene 3 trabajos diferentes o en el día.
Uh-huh.
Sin embargo, no gana mucho dinero.
Exactly. Then we have, despite, although, and besides. What is the translation of despite.
A pesar de.
Exactly. So we went out the cold weather.
Despite,
Right.
despite.
Very good.
Yeah.
The translation, Luz?
Nosotros fuimos, es que no lo leo, nosotros salimos a pesar del clima frío.
Exactly. Finally, we have although, in spite of, and however. The sentence is, I try to look happy, feeling miserable.
Instead of.
In spite of. So we said that after of, the verb goes plus ing.
No, it's although.
No, although requires that after although we have a complete clause. So although I felt miserable. Although I felt miserable.
Or like something easy to Liz Elena would be like a person, like although I was feeling something like this.
Exactly. So after of, the verb goes plus ing. So that's why it's in spite of. Good. We are going to do an exercise to continue practicing connectors, but this time we have a complete essay. This is the link of the exercise that we just worked on, just in case you want to use it.
English grammar.
Okay, here we have the essay. And this essay is about changing jobs. Yes? So this is going to present two, it's an argumentative essay that expresses contradictory ideas. So if it's good to stay in the same job for many years, or if it's better to change jobs constantly. What do you think? What is better for you?
To stay in the same job.
Why, Luz?
Because if you stay for a long time in the same job, you get more experience, you get more confident in what you are doing. Also, about the teamwork is better to stay in the same job, because if you are changing job, you have to meet new people and to build a new confidence. And for me, it's better to have the same job.
Okay. Do
Another
you guys
advantage.
agree?
That is more stable, more stability.
Yeah, another advantage of having a job for a long time, it's for the resume. Like when a person is interested in changing the job, that would be great for companies to see that the person is stable, is responsible. Like it's not, because when a person works in different places, this is not well seen by psychologists. Like he's an a stable person.
Yes, that's true. Okay. Other reason for you to choose the same job for many years, or the opposite?
Yeah, as Lucelena says, it's humans, or we humans need stability, needs to get experience.
Well, about the experience, we experience every word that we had. The idea of change depends on the job that you make and how do you make it a job, because there are some places where you can enjoy your job, but you can change in different areas. So I think that the stability is depend about everyone. I think that the stability depends on the persons, not the job.
Okay, other ideas? Well, I prefer to change jobs because that help us to learn something new.
Yeah.
But how long?
Like every 4 or 5 years, I would say.
Mm.
Well, you are going to read 2 ideas on advantages and disadvantages. And what you have to do is to use the connectors that are in the box to complete the gaps. So I would like all of you work on that. And when you are done, let me know so we can check. Oh, sorry.
Cheers.
Purchase librarians informations to the employer, for example. De la música.
I'm ready, I think.
Are you done with the 4 connectors? With the whole paragraph? Anna, you said that, for example, is 2. Luz, you cannot use different ones to the ones that are in the box.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Plus the three ones that you had, that you chose, are okay. It's the first three ones that were mentioned around the box.
Okay.
Person I had thought about the loan to your company since I was changing to if you
Okay, Anna has the correct order. So the first one is while, the second one is for example, the third one is contrary to, and the fourth one is while. Sorry, the third one is while, and the fourth one is contrary to. Exactly. So that is the order. So we see here that when we are writing when we are trying to write a paragraph, and in this case an essay that expresses opposite ideas, what we can do is to write a list of ideas and then to find out how we're going to connect them. If they add information, if they are opposite ideas, if they express cause or effect, and in that way, choose the correct connector to create the paragraph. That is one way to write. Here we have other paragraph about the same essay, and the exercise is the same. We have three connectors in the box, and you need to write them in the correct place. Do you guys agree with Luz Helena's order? She has consequently, however, and besides that.
Yeah, I thought the same. I don't know why, but I thought the same.
Right. Is there any word in that
Probably the
paragraph?
last part is like
It's tricky, the last part?
yes, probably that like besides that from the I don't know if that sounds correct besides that at the end, but
The company should have employees whose skills. It's because besides that,
first one sounds good, like consequently.
the second one
However.
introduces a contradiction or an opposite idea. So we have first the positive aspect, which is that
However,
each one cares, and then we have an opposite or a contradiction there, which are the negative aspects. One aspect is that the employee may outgrow or may know more than what is expected for the job. And other negative aspect is that the employer also doesn't require somebody who knows more for the position. So we have two negative aspects at the end. That's why the last one is introduced with besides that, because it adds information to the first negative aspect that was presented.
okay.
So the order is consequently, however, and besides that.
All right.
Okay, then we have
Good.
the last two paragraphs. I think. Hold on a second. Okay, here we have. As long as, however, but, and that. What is the translation of that?
Además, no.
Así,
Así que,
Así.
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 Ujú.
Or a different answer.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe think differently. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win?
Okay, so we have here das.
Yes.
Here we have as long as.
Repeat as long as in the
Here we have however, no, but.
for
A reward teacher.
Yes.
oh my god.
A virtual reward.
A happy face.
Different answers.
So it
Or a
is,
good or a good video.
en las culturas en las que es aceptable cambiar de trabajo cada cuántos años, cada tantos años, los empleados pueden construir la carrera que ellos escojan para ellos. Así, ellos pueden permanecer con una compañía tanto como el beneficio sea mutuo para la compañía y para el empleador.
Pero
No, ahí sería...
Sin embargo.
no, as long as se traduce ahí.
tanto
As
como
long as.
Sí, tanto como existe una buena relación entre... Tanto como existe una buena relación y la carrera del empleado esté avanzando a un paso aceptable, el empleado puede permanecer en la compañía, pero en cualquier momento el empleado es libre de moverse a otra compañía, tal vez para alcanzar una posición más alta o para moverse en una nueva área, o para encontrar una situación de trabajo que es más beneficiosa, puede ser para su personalidad. Sin embargo, la desventaja de esta situación es que los empleados tienden a moverse demasiado y puede afectar el proceso de una compañía, ya que el nuevo empleado podría tomar mucho tiempo o tomarse algún tiempo para desarrollar las habilidades necesarias para desempeñarse correctamente. Entonces, el final sería however porque está...
I have a question.
Ajá, what's the question?
It's not possible to change but and however, like because sometimes they're so similar.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
No.
Possible change?
Relationships in employee careers advancements, etc. They can remain a company. No.
Yes, the reason is because they belong to the same group. And the structure of the sentences allow the use of both in the number 3 or number 4. So, but and however are used to express opposite ideas. Since they belong to the same group, it is possible to use them interchangeably in number 3 and in number 4. Right. Happy face, Belisario. Okay. Finally,
Good job.
finally, we have the conclusion of the essay. We have which in summary and on the contrary.
Mhm.
Do you guys agree with Anna's order? In summary, which on the contrary?
On the contrary.
Okay, so 3 of you agree. That's the correct.
Yeah.
Thank you, Belisario.
So you see here in this essay, we have the first part presents that the person is going to compare two cultures, Asia and Europe, right? European and Asian cultures. Then the person focuses on the second paragraph, the person explains the idea of one of the cultures. And then on the third one, the idea of the other culture. And finally, the conclusion, right? So we should be able to organize the ideas in a coherent way. When you take the TOEFL test, they measure that. You will see the rubric of TOEFL for writing. They measure coherence. So if the person is able to organize the ideas in that way. Do you have questions about this topic? No?
Mm. Can hear you.
Okay, so we can move to the practice of passive voice because we said in the last encounter that we can construct passive voice with all the tenses. And we studied last time with present simple, past simple, present continuous, future. So tonight we are going to practice how to use the passive voice with modals. Let's see.
The baskets.
We said that for writing a sentence in passive voice with a modal verb, we need to use be after the modal verb, and we need to use the past participle of the second verb. Right? So the bill must be paid.
Mhm.
We are going to practice that with the next activity. I would like you to think about the problems in your neighborhood, and I would like you to tell us what you think should be done in order to solve those problems. So what might be done to improve the neighborhood? Example, streets should be repaired, or traffic signs should be replaced, or trees should be planted, or ways for bikes should be built. So think about problems in your neighborhood and tell us what should be done there to improve. Okay, I'm going to repeat. The idea is that you think about problems in your neighborhood and possible solutions, like in the examples that I gave you. So, for example, in my neighborhood, there are a lot of holes on the street. So, the streets should be repaired in my neighborhood. What about in the places where you live? What are the problems and what are the possible solutions?
Main problem in Bucaramanga. My God. Now,
What are the main problems there in the city or in the neighborhood where you live, Belisario?
yeah, the main problem, the one you just mentioned, the streets should be repaired, but there are a lot of potholes. I heard a guy from South Africa, and he told me that they say potholes. So the streets repair the potholes.
So that's the main problem there.
Yes, and another problem, but I think it's happening in the country, in the whole country, is the immigrants from Venezuela.
Yeah.
So the problem or the crisis in Venezuela should be solved as soon as possible. I always say that every day. My God, that the crisis should be stopped, should be end.
Hopefully
Is
the
that
answer.
horrible in Bucaramanga, Belisario? I think.
Yeah, there are many people from
Because you are very close. You are closer than us.
yeah, every day we can see a lot of people from Venezuela arriving here. And some of them stay here, others I don't know where they go.
It's very sad. Very sad, the situation.
Yes,
And
Villavicencio is the same.
the safety, the security, the safety is not the same. Like it's kind of dangerous, and many people have been robbed. All the cities not the same.
Yeah, in all cities.
In all cities, yes. But as Luz told you, probably the problem there is worse because you
Mm.
are closer to the border.
Yeah. It's more difficult.
Jose, what about your neighborhood? What things should be done there to improve?
I
Sorry, can you repeat because we have many noise to show.
Yes, the connection, my connection is not working well. The question is, what
Can
do you
hear
consider
you?
should be done in your neighborhood in order to improve?
Hello? You can see the same things, different immigrant. We had holes in the streets and had some problems because the governments don't help us solution of the mobility problems that maybe I think that are sorry the more difficult problem that we have in our neighbor. I think that is the big problem that we have in Bogota. For example, I live in Salamanca, so in this city we can see many conditions, uh, big cars. So all the time is difficult because the mobility isn't easy. Really, is so difficult. I think that is the big problem that we have in Bogota.
So we should have
That
less
is the
cars.
big problem that we have in Bogota. Sorry?
Should we have less cars in the city?
Many cars, I think. I think that the problem is now the all the cars that we have in Bogota. The problem is that we don't have a property mobility solution, right? Because, for example, the 2 days that we have the pico y placa, because we had the problem in the environment, right?
Uh-huh.
We can travel in the city without problems, right? I think that maybe the problem is the governments because they don't use it a real solution about that. The idea is that maybe can change the different politics that they have to use or to solution the mobility in Bogota. I think that the idea is maybe to implement again the Pico y Placa all date. I think that maybe can be better if we have that idea again in Bogota. I think that is all the problem. I think that is problem for the governments because they can get up a real solution about that. I think that is all the problem in
Okay.
Bogota.
Felix, you also live in Bogota. Do you think that uh, we can have other solution to that problem besides having pico y placa the whole day? What other solution can we have to solve the problem of mobility?
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Well, first of all, I think there is a big problem, not only with mm, this issue of mobility in Bogota,
Yeah.
is because of there are different circumstances or factors that relate to all the traffic jam in Bogota. I think this gonna be this really one gonna be stopped. Yeah, because you as you see every day, you can see a lot of cars, more cars, different
Mm-hmm.
cars from different countries,
Mm-hmm.
and this is a really serious problem in Bogota. I think that the solution could be that um, should be all the maybe street should be repaired, changed by the government by using other strategies, not exactly pico y placa, because people usually have two cars. Yeah, so they maybe making fun of the
Yeah.
system. That I thought is a big problem. And if you take a bike, your bike to work, well, it really is people that do it is good. Some people have a habit
Yeah.
to go to the university, to go to the, I don't know, such if you want. If you don't want, it's okay, no problem. And this is other thing I would talk to you is I think this topic I'm going to touch is very important. It's about the dogs. Well, I don't live in a neighborhood with this. There are a lot of dogs, but my grandma, yes, live in a neighborhood where there is some dogs that are everywhere. They broken uh, garbage packed or package.
Mm-hmm.
Although those bags are broken by the dogs and they generate a lot of dairy and yeah and the left everywhere and they poo problem. I hate that when I go to a neighborhood and see that. I hate that to see that kind of experiments left. There is a big problem. I consider that dogs should be I don't know collected gathered by that system and controlled it. Many, not only here, but in Bogota also, there are many neighborhoods that are occurring that, or maybe people that sleep in the street, homeless, are living, and really it's a big problem. This must be changed, I think. That's it,
So,
thank you.
so birth control on street dogs and
Yeah,
more streets, and you mentioned it to use more the bicycle
sure.
to help with the traffic jams.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but in that idea that use the bicycle is so difficult because the security in Bogota is complicated, really. I think that if we compare our country with other countries, it's difficult because in that countries, the governments, in this moment, I repeat again, the governments use correct rights to implement different solution. But in Colombia, they don't the government don't try to implement security and other things that maybe uh, can help us to take an habit in this in this opportunity we see. It's really difficult. I think that that is not a solution. Maybe can help to that problem, but it's not a solution really because it's difficult to take a bicycle and go to the streets. Really, it's difficult.
Yes.
Anna, what's your opinion on the causes of crime or violence in the cities? What are the causes?
Yeah. What is the what? Sorry.
Causes.
Yes, the causes. What are the reasons why we have violence and crime in big
Ah, well, I think that maybe the reasons that we had more violence is because we had dysfunctional homes or dysfunctional families. Maybe that
Yes.
we can see different boys, and in this moment the rise don't or in this case we can correct our children because they have opportunity to do with the rice all that they want, right? I think that is difficult because the dysfunctional families have the real problem to increase the violence because we can see many children in the street, many children with drugs, many children
Girl.
that it's difficult really. I think that the all the problem that we have is the poor, and we can uh, uh, see that violence reflects in our children when they go to the streets and they take on habits that are not good habits. So is I think that all is start in our homes, and the problem that we can take a real home or a real family. I think that all the problems starts in homes. I think that.
Do you guys agree? Is that are there more causes, more reasons for the violence that we have? Or do you
Yes,
consider
I
that
agree.
there is other important
No,
cause for that? Anna?
I agree. No, I agree, Jose Julian. Yes.
So for you,
In the
families are
primary school, I say at least in different problems with the children,
Yeah.
the family, or sometimes grandparents around the children.
okay.
Yes,
It's so difficult.
I consider
very
violence
difficult.
Latin America, not only in Colombia but also in Latin America, is because of corruption. Like there's no equality.
Ah, the quality. Yeah.
Yeah, in Latin America, that is the main.
Yeah,
I
more in
think.
Colombia.
Yeah,
Generally in Latin America is difficult because the corruption is so big, really. Yeah, you had a good idea, Belisario. It's
yes.
true.
In Colombia, the corruption is different to other countries. Even you can see, as I mentioned, have like holes in the street that are not seen in Brazil or Mexico and Argentina, but it's strange the corruption here. But
Yes, yes.
there's
One of
the
the
whole
more clear
the whole.
examples is Odebrecht. In all countries, the law is punish is take the law in your hands, but in Colombia, don't happen nothing really.
But the problem,
In Odebrecht is one of the most recent example, for example.
Yeah. But let's say that in other countries, we also have families that split apart. Number of divorces in other countries is higher than in Colombia. So, but the level of corruption in other countries is
Mm,
less than here. So,
yeah, yeah, it's different.
I
Developed
agree.
countries.
Yeah, I agree
So
with the idea that if we had less inequality here, so more opportunities for poor people, there will be
yeah,
less crime, maybe.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah, like in Japan, in Australia, in many countries in Europe,
Yeah.
even
Wow.
In the Middle East, like in the UAE, United Arab Emirates.
hmm?
Right. Cesar, you live in Cali. What is one of the most important problems in the city or in your neighborhood?
Well, I guess that one of the most important problems or biggest problem is security as well. Security is a problem that is affecting all the country. And now, as you mentioned it before, the thing that are happening with Venezuelan people, and not only them, because not all of them are guilty or have done those kind of things that affects Colombians, but also are people who are taking advantage of their situation and start doing getting into the crime and blame Venezuelan people. Yes, in Cali is the crime is we have high rate of crime, the homicides. The people is asking, or I haven't heard recently, but they were asking that the mayor or the city should be militarized, but because in that case, because it was said that the police in Cali wasn't doing great and wasn't doing their thing, so and the people were asking, the citizens were asking for the military presence in Cali, in the city. Intervention, yes, sir.
Do you think that I have relatives who live there in Cali, a lot of relatives,
Okay.
cousins and aunts and uncles. And once we were talking about the culture there, and that probably compared to Bogota, people there are more intolerant, let's say. Do you agree
Yeah.
with that?
The Caleños are intolerant?
Well, compared to people from other places in Colombia. Do you agree with that, or?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure because I don't know many people from different cities and often. So it's kind of difficult to know it or be agree about that. Probably, yeah, probably there's too much intolerance in this city. People, most of the crime that we see is because people can't stand each other. Yes, just for stupid things, and they react violently. So they kill each other just because maybe someone took their dog out and the dog pooped outside the house in the door of another neighbor, or just because they were playing it aloud and all day long. So the people instantly destroy biking by using weapons or just attacking the others, or verbally or physically. And probably yes, but it's as you said, it's most we don't see it like in the entire city, but it's more like in the in certain parts of the city that are like in the lower strata, but it's like that. And because the people, I consider that sometimes the police department or the police forces, they're not reliable now, and people don't like them. So people, they don't care about what they supposed to do, and the citizens do whatever they want by their hands. So they catch the thief, they kill them, the okay, they take the revenge or call it the justice by the end.
And why do you think policemen are not doing their job? Is because they are corrupt, or because they are, what happened?
Yes. I guess that is the corruption, the main problem. Probably there are not all of them are corrupted, but they in certain way they have to, because for example, if a group of friends of a group of the policemen, some of them are correct and other ones are incorrect. So the ones who are acting correctly are going to be like judged, for the other ones are probably injured, or I don't know. So they have to like play the same game as the other ones are doing and follow the things that are how it's happening now. But most of the thing is corrupt, and also because of the money. No, this corruption is because of the money. So they see that it's profitable to get more money doing illegal stuff, covering in their in like in the force that they are, like, as being as a police.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
I would like to add.
Yes,
I would like.
Teacher, I think that depends of the person, because I have several police colleagues or family members who work in the police and are very correct. The problem is that the people with highest rank always want to manage and hide everything negative and corrupt that is done for their own benefit.
So not everybody. Well, imagine if it were everybody, it would be crazy.
Well, maybe I think that the problem in Cali will be caused because in Cali have different criminal structures. Maybe the story says that in Cali, Los Rastrojos, I remember that they made a criminal structure in that city. I think that maybe can cause some of the violence in that city. That is my opinion.
It could be, right,
the violence.
because of that problem of
With
drugs.
Right.
Yes,
Right,
the
with
people
drugs.
who are corrupt or have those type of business still have that culture of being aggressive. Yeah, that could be a cause. Belisario?
I think the advantage that Cali has, because it's so close to the Pacific region, like Buenaventura, and because the level of corruption there is higher, so people need to rob, do things like you have mentioned, and even they send drug to the U.S., cocaine, and from those ports, because from the port it's easier to send cocaine to the U.S. and those kind of businesses.
Right. I think that's contradictory. One of the richest parts in Colombia, I mean the port, which is very important, and people there are really poor. So the level of corruption there is really high.
Yeah, the problem in Colombia is the corruption, I think.
Yeah, the same happens in La Guajira. The coal,
Right.
with the coal.
They have coal, they have salt, they have the ocean, they have wind, they are rich, but they don't have that. They don't have good lifestyle.
They don't get benefits from those. Yeah, they don't get the benefits from that money because it's taken by people, like by the rulers.
I think things could be changed if maybe employment opportunities should be improved. Government should be changed. I think this is a good formula. People should think more about helping each other. Could be another. Maybe the money should be invested in education, health, and food. And people should love each other and think of the day after day and be happy. That could be a formula to change a little bit Colombia.
Yeah, sometimes I realize that there are a lot of TV commercials that are addressed to children. I think because it's considered that children are not corrupted and they can start like creating some uh, or building some behavior in them so that in the future uh, they react in a better way. But I think as a whole, it is important also to work with parents because,
Yes.
as Jose mentioned, home is like the core, the core in well, it everything starts there. And those of you who have taught at schools, you've seen that although you teach many things, students get lots of what they are and their behaviors at home.
Yeah.
So that's if there are no changes at the core, it's kind of difficult to make changes at school.
Yes.
Okay, other ideas?
Another problem that is in Colombia is the law or the laws for criminals or corrupted politicians. They are not punished, so it's pretty easy to be corrupted here. Yeah, like the justice cover them, like help them, cover them, like support them. So yeah, or yeah, it's because they receive money, so there's no problem. Everything, the most important is money, and that is the problem with humans, the the love for money,
That's true.
and that's why we have. Go ahead.
I was thinking about Chinese punishment for those who traffic with drugs, so people can be killed there. I'm not saying that that should be the penalty for like serious crimes, but people think twice if the penalty is serious.
Yeah, I think that is a good form to control that crime. It's my idea because I think that if you send 1 kilo of cocaine to another country, you can make a really problem or sanitary problem in that country, right? So I think that the idea of that in China is to say, hey, don't try to consume or don't try to use drugs because if you use it, you had a really problem with us. I think that is a good idea to control that crime. It's my opinion, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, like humans, some humans want to have money, like in any way. So that is the world. There's a lot of pollution because they all people money. Yeah.
Yes.
The money is the most important in life, so it doesn't matter what they do or the consequence of the product, like for technology, just or cars, producing cars every day, technology without taking care of the like companies just take focus on producing, but they don't care about how to reuse, yeah, how to recycle. They don't invest money in recycling, just producing.
Okay. Other ideas?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Decline. Well, I think Colombia require a hard hand by those people that really damage or have intention to to affect to to take an advantage of some of their interests. But the other problem in Colombia is that the people don't follow maybe rules in the streets. Yeah, everyone, for example, in Transmilenio, everyone want to go first in the Transmilenio. Yeah. Yeah, they are to be the first to go who go in the Transmilenio. It is a lot of, it's a big mass of people, it's a crowd of people. It's terrible. The afternoon is very terrible. That maybe should be changed by other system. I don't know if maybe
Yes.
the future
So that's
is
it's not enough.
supposed to be a subway.
The system is not enough
Yeah,
and
it's a big
it's
problem.
not organized. So with that specific case, we cannot have the
Yeah.
buses stopping at the same place and having people behave in a good way, because there are not enough buses and they are not organized properly. So the system is not helping also.
Yeah, I totally agree. Because I have a friend who is in Australia and she got a fine because she crossed the street when it was not right. She needed to wait more, and so a police officer gave her a fine because of this. She was supposed to pay like $70.
Yes, in London is the same.
Lot of
Yeah,
money.
there's nothing.
Well, once I heard that a Colombian person could behave properly in a different country, because in other countries the penalties and rules are different. So a Colombian person will think twice before doing something wrong.
I think the problem is that we all the Vivo Vive del Bo, and it's really a bad place because all the time we had to, it's really bad because we all time try to improve our humanity and try to be better person every time. But in Colombia, all the time we incentivize people to say, hey, try to be más vivo, más tienes que pasarle por encima al otro, and that is really difficult. I think that all start with changing our mind, and maybe we can change our country really. I think that is one of the most important things about that. All the problems start with us because we don't change our mind and really never change this country. I think that.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, good. Well, I'm going to stop the encounter. Again, I would like you to tell me if you have any topic that you want me to explain next time. Any question you might have about grammar that you have studied in Jesuit, please let me know, email me, so I can plan exercises to explain that in the next encounter.
Bye.
Okay. I appreciate your participation. I hope you have a good night, and we'll see you
You
next
too.
time, next week.
Okay.
Thanks
Thank
for your
you.
teacher. Take care. Good night.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thanks, so
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.